Hey everyone, for today's video, I'm going to be showcasing VELDORA. I went over his kit a couple videos back, so I'll keep it brief. His slots are great, but I don't recommend the LB7 or even LB6 unless you have dupes of him. His art providing himself 7 arts a second for a minute was insanely helpful during my playthrough, as even with multiple art geners, it felt like he was getting his rotations passed through really quickly, so I wouldn't sleep on this. His true arts was also really good for the attack buff that increases his damage from his passive. I haven't gotten to make use of the paralysis or freeze resist, but I'm sure it has its places. For super arts, it does 200,000 earth damage magic with a 200% AoE damage buff for humans, demons, or dragons. He also gives everyone defense ignore. When this was paired with all of the buffing and debuffing he was being supported with, you could quite literally see him melting the boss's health bar like actual butter. He works so much smoother than I originally thought, and it's actually really satisfying to see the damage, not even including the fact that his super art animation looks so good on top of it. I didn't get to make use of his heal passive for the team, but the damage up per attack was definitely noticed quite a bit, because after using his true art, the attack buff from that buffed his super art damage really well. If you see in the video, damage really isn't a problem for him if you have consistent equip usage. His true weapon is also really good if you want to reach his full potential, as the active attack and magic damage is really good, as well as the huge 50% passive attack, which just buffs his passive damage even more. As for some equips you're going to want to run on him though, definitely his true weapon for his magic slot. If not, just go with a bread and butter art gen equips, whether that be something like Exceed Sex, or you can use an equip to either buff his damage or attack, preferably both since attack buffs work nicely for his passive. For his 5-star defense slot, it of course depends on the content you're doing, so just use whatever counters the element or damage type of the boss, obviously. For his 4-star physical slot, Grief is probably gonna be the best choice for him, as it provides him 2 arts a second, as well as an extra 30% attack, which just buffs his damage even more. And if you happen to have him LB7 for his 4-star defense slot, like I said for the 5-star defense, whatever counters your current stage. As for crests, you're definitely gonna want attack up. If you can get crossover attack crests, I'd also suggest that too, as they stack, since they're just base attack buffs. Or you can run equip CT if you want to be more survival oriented. As for teams I can see him on, you'd think he'd want to be on Mono Earth, but that's really only if you need his true art for the team. If you're not going to be worrying about that, then you can run him pretty much anywhere as your DPS. As for some partners or units you want to pair him with, Evil Eye is definitely going to work great with him, as she provides art gen and a magic damage buff to the team. And then if you want a full Mono Earth, maybe also either Haruto or Valentine's Lisa, and then like War God Fen. Mono Earth doesn't really work too well with him right now though, because as you see in the video, I ran Emperor for art gen and debuffing, and for the defense slot, as well as Mako for her art damage buff, art gen, and heals. So really just anywhere works for him. But in all, he's a really fun unit. He's not going to blast through stages as fast as some of the more popular DPS like Jay or Demon Lord Rimuru, but he still holds up pretty well. The defense slot also makes him more usable in the endgame, so that's actually pretty good value. I can't really think of any stages off the top of my head that you'd need him in, but even just as a DPS, he's really good. That's everything for the video though. Let me know what your thoughts are on VELDORA down below, or if you happen to pull him. I also posted a meme review submission on my posts if you guys are interested in submitting anything for that. I'll be reviewing them in a later video, so if you can, try to submit any, but no worries if you can't. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to like and sub for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.